Yo, what up? It's AaroniMoses on vacation in Chicago at my grandma's house, cause that's what real niggas do. I got little baby Jimmy acting bad. Sit down before you spill that water on the couch, and I'm gonna be mad as fuck. Sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. Okay, so the piece of information that I want to give you is everything has consequences. Nothing in life is free. A lot of people say the best things in life are free. That doesn't really have any connection with what I'm going to tell you. Everything has a price. I had a book, and I'm so salty. I lost it. I don't think I even lost it. I think it just evaporated. It was a book called To Get Money, You Have to Have Some. And one principle that the author illustrated very clearly in that book is that confidence is directly linked with the sacrifices that you propose people make in order for your presence. Okay? If you are walking down the street and you see somebody on the side of the road and they say, "Hey bro, can you help me change my tire?" You could say, "I know how to change a tire, but it's gonna run you like, maybe $20. Or you can, do it free." What he clearly taught, What he clearly taught in that book was the principle of how can I say this? Presenting your value. He said that you need to bill everybody. You need to send everyone a bill. You need to bill people. You need to make sure that I am the universe. I am an extension of God. And if you were to do a ritual or something magical or something majestic related, you would have a consequence. And fucking with me, you are going to have a consequence for summoning or evoking or invoking my entity. Now, do I live by that principle? I don't totally live by that principle. It's a pretty good, confidence building ritual to keep with you. For example, I was walking down the street and these gentlemen asked me to go to a smoke shop called Smoke 911 because they didn't know the culture of the shop. You cannot say anything about breaking the law. They had a device called the Whizzinator, and what the Whizzinator does is it gives you a bag of synthetic urine, it puts it in a tube, and you put it in your pants so you can take drug tests and pass them. And they kept saying, "I need to take a drug test for my probation officer and pass it because I smoke a lot of weed." And they said it more than 3 times, and they got banned from the store for that day. Now, they saw me, and I realized what they did. And they asked me, and I was like, "Okay, do you have $10? And they were like, "Yeah, we got the money for it." And I was like, No, I didn't ask you all of that. I asked you if you had $10. He was like, "Bro, we're not from here. We need to get back to College Park," wherever the fuck they were from. This is in Sandy Springs. And I was like, "Okay, so you don't want to pay me. What are you going to give me?" And the dude said, "Dude, we'll drop you off exactly where we found you." And I was like, "Can you take me home? I smell weed on the car. Can you take me?" My house was literally right up the hill. Whatever the case is, I was dictating, "Look, you need to acknowledge my value. If you want me to do something, there are a lot of people in this world that will do things and there will be no consequences for their services." I wasn't that person. I wasn't in that mind state at that time. I'm not in that mind state for every little thing now, but I will bill a motherfucker. Okay? I do charge for tarot readings. I do charge for 30-minute consultations. I do all of that. Toys R Us. All right? But you have to realize that everything has a consequence. I read a book. I started to read a book called The Secrets of the Illuminati. And in the beginning of the book had a disclaimer. If you are schizophrenic, bipolar, depressed, if you have any mental illness or personality disorder, you do not need to be reading this book because it will have adverse side effects. And I took a look at that and I really meditated on the purpose of that message. The purpose of the message was to weed out the weakness and to really advise against reading this book if you had real concerns of your mental health. Just like JOS. I don't really follow JOS. I don't really fuck with JOS like that. But shout out to Maxine and all her efforts, and I hope that she gets what she deserves properly. In a good way, in a bad way, whatever it means. In a human way. But she made a very, and I don't even know if she wrote that, but you do not need to be dipping and dabbling in magical practices if you are depressed, if you have any mental disorders or anything that affects your cognition, how you think, how you interact with the world, and any kind of chemical imbalances that you cannot control. Because you fucking with magic is pretty much the last thing that you should do. Okay? Knowledge has a consequence. Learning things has a consequence. I didn't get that from the Secrets of the Illuminati book. But think about it, bro. What have you learned about the world that has made your life worse, more uncomfortable? What have you done that has made you more paranoid? What kind of research have you done has really tarnished your view not only on the American society or your society's culture or human man in a whole? What have you done research on? And if you haven't done research on anything that has made you think differently in a negative way, or in a way that could be possibly destructive or even self-destructive, you're not reading hard enough. You're not looking at the right information. That might have been a little extreme, but that is real shit. When I talk to all my friends that are college kids, a lot of them take up classes or majors, that require them to take psychological classes, sociological classes, and things of that nature. And they all tell me that their professors are dark as people who have a fucked up view on the world. Because they know the true nature of man. They know too much. And knowing how fucked up that man is, you really don't have too much of a choice of viewing man for what it is. Are you emotionally healthy enough to learn what the fuck you need to learn? To do what you need to do to make you a better person? And by better, I mean more enlightened. I mean somebody that's gonna serve, somebody that's gonna give back, somebody that's gonna be fucking useful. Are you emotionally healthy enough to learn? I'm not telling you to give up. I'm not telling you if you're not emotionally healthy enough to learn some new shit that might change your view on the world. Don't learn it. I'm telling you to get ready, because ignorance is not bliss. Everything has a consequence. Learning is no exception. Everybody, you want to watch Dragon Ball Z, you want to fucking watch Naruto and all these crazy ass animes, and you want to open your third eye and do all that crazy shit. It's consequences, bro. Sometimes bad things happen. But If you want to know more about that, I pretty much have a video on everything I covered and everything I just discussed. So that's it, man. It's Aaron motherfucking Moses. Life is in the breath. Just breathe it in. Peace.